Welcome back to MVA Today. I'm Jabari Newton.
And I'm Hannah Fito. Most of you know by now the Hopman family, who are very near and dear to the MVA community, are leaving after this year to become members of the Hilton Head Prep Academy in South Carolina, where Mr. Hopman will be headmaster. We went to the TV production class to give us more information about the Hopman family's legacy from their time here at Montverde Academy.
First thing I saw, I guess, wow, she's pretty cute, I guess is the first thing that I thought of.
I can remember the exact moment I set eyes on him.
For Mr. and Mrs. Hopman, meeting while lifeguarding during the summer of 1990 proved to be more than a chance meeting.
We were both lifeguards together when I first met her.
So we were so excited to see this new boy. And I was standing in the guard shack, and he had walked into the pool area. And I looked out the window, and I said, "Oh my goodness, he's so cute." And I can remember the exact moment that I saw him, and I always knew from that point forward that there was something very special about him.
Both were attending school in Virginia, Mrs. Hopman at a public school and Mr. Hopman at St. James School, where he first met Dr. Kessering and Coach Pauly.
I met Coach Pauly and Dr. Kessering when I first started playing football. They were our coaches, and they provided daily support and motivation on the field. And so that was the first time I met them.
See, I first met John, he was I think a sophomore in high school at St. James, where I had also gone to prep school.
Well, I was John Hopman's football coach and wrestling coach and his chemistry teacher at the St. James School outside of Hagerstown, Maryland. What comes back to my mind is the last football game that I coached John Hopman in. It was the senior year, and we were playing a very tough football team by the name of Riverdale Baptist, and they had a running back by the name of Olandis Gary. Well, in that last game, Olandis came in having run over 200 yards in every single game prior to, and John Hopman shut him down that day.
And then I also played some other sports. I played lacrosse. I wrestled for Coach Pauly as a favor. And what else did I do? I played a little bit of tennis. And I think that's it. Basketball was not anywhere near my skill level.
Yeah, John was a good football player. He was pretty athletic by nature, and I certainly recall him playing football for several seasons, and he was a tough athlete. He was a competitor for certain. A little injury prone, but he was a tough competitor.
After graduating college, the Hopmans got married and soon welcomed their son Hunter. While contemplating a career change, Mr. Hopman decided to give Dr. Kessering a call.
I think it was in my first year here at Montverde that I got a telephone call from him, indicating that obviously he had been married and he was entertaining the idea of a career change. So through a couple conversations, we talked about some potential opportunities here, and he ended up arriving here in the summer of I guess it would have been 2001, I think.
While Mr. Hopman became the development director in 2001, he has had a number of other positions here at Montverde Academy.
After I was here for 1 year doing the Director of Development and the Alumni Relations, Dr. Kessering asked me to take over the business office, and so I spent at least, I guess it was 8 years as a business manager, which takes care of all the behind-the-scenes things on our campus, all the renovation and construction work, the finances of the school.
Through a lot of hard work and wearing many hats, Mr. Hopman was eventually promoted to assistant headmaster at MVA and was most recently appointed to oversee admissions.
After I was the business manager, I was a business manager for 8 years, Dr. Kessering asked me to be the assistant headmaster and also oversee the students, the dean of students. So I did that for 3 years, and then just the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been the assistant headmaster and director of admissions.
A few alumni and current Montverde staff members remember Mr. Hopman while attending MVA.
Well, when I was here, he was the business manager, so I will see him at least every Friday when I went to get my allowance, and he will always say hi, you know, smile, and things like that, so I had a great deal of respect for him just because of that, you know, and always when I saw him walking around campus, he was all serious and nice, dressed up, so I really admire him just because of that, so I can tell you he was a great person. Well, I actually do talk to him quite often just to get some advice. He's one of my mentors, as he was also the Dean of Students a few years ago. So I do talk to him quite often, and I can tell you he's a wise man, and he has a lot of experience, and he's really good. Every time I have a question or a doubt, I go see him, and he usually, or actually always, have the advice that I need at that moment, so yes.
It's been really good. He's one of the best bosses I've ever had. Real laid back. He really puts a lot of emphasis on you being able to do your part and not, you know, micromanaging you, which is great. To be honest with you, you know, when I knew him as a student, you know, just a tall figure, he was immediately an administrator. He was kind of intimidating, you know. So when I first started working for him, I had to get through that block from being a student, which with some of the teachers, you know, still I have to get through that block, you know, of being intimidated by them. But no, he's a great guy. You know, he's always around to help you out. Really focuses on the team orientation. It's been a real pleasure to get to know him on more of a personal level. Fortunate for that, and I'm sad to see him go.
Besides his regular duties, Mr. Hopman got to coach the MVA boys weightlifting team with Coach Pauly, and most recently coaching Hunter in the inaugural MVA boys lacrosse team with Coach Williams.
First of all, it's very apropos that we should talk about John Hopman here in the weight room. When I first came here 8 years ago, John Hopman and I ran the weight program right here in the old weight room off the back of Robert's gym. And, you know, very popular activity. We had probably over 40 students in the activity. And we used to work out with the kids. And so John and I got back into benching, and John got a little bit out of control there for a while. He worked his way up to a 315-pound bench press, of which both he and I are very proud.
Family has also been extremely important to Mr. and Mrs. Hopman. After arriving at MVA when Hunter was only 2 months old, the Hopmans welcomed Haley in 2004. Here are some of their memories while here at Montverde Academy.
Well, he's not quite on my level yet, but he's a good coach, and he's taught me a lot of lessons, like, along the years. Like, I guess he's been my coach ever since I really started soccer in, like, the kindergarten, and he's coached me on up, and it's kind of been interesting how he does things and how he teaches it, and he's helped me a lot in my improvements in sports.
My mom gives me, like, these encouraging thoughts, like, do your best and God will do the rest. Or like run like the wind bullseye from Toy Story. And yeah, my dad just says, just run the best you can.
Family is very important. Family is the whole reason that led me to come here and work at Montverde Academy. You know, to be able to raise my children in an environment like this, to be able to, you know, provide an education like this, have them near me when I'm working. All of that to me is extremely valuable. And so, you know, everything that we do, everything that I do is for my family.
Family is so important to me. In our family, we try to spend as much time together as a family. We have dinner together around the table. That's important for me because conversations are important. And I love Montverde Academy because ever since we came to Montverde Academy, we've called this our family. Montverde Academy is a part of our family because when you don't have extended family around, you rely on the people that you're with to help you and to help raise your children. And so the teachers here have been a very big part of that. They've helped to raise our children.
Not only was their own family important, but also the extended family of staff, faculty, and students. Mrs. Hopman was able to transform what was previously called chapel into character and community connection, or more commonly known as CCC.
For me, I see the CCC program as something different. I see it like an option which is there for everybody to benefit from. Finally, the Bible study, which we stay after CCC, most of the time, it's different. It's different from everything else because it's just the one place that most of us just come and be ourselves, and we come and have one thing in common, which is our love for God, and we learn a lot from that every day, how we can build our relationship with God and with each other as we proceed in our life and our stay in school. 6 months ago, I lost my dad, but before then, a week before everything happened, I was with Ms. Hopman in her classroom, which is where I spent my study hall since like a couple of years ago with her. And she shared with me a Bible text, which I cannot remember, I wish I could. And it was about how God wanted us to be comforted so we can comfort people, while how God will put us in situations that we can go through so we can help people. And at that time I had no clue. I just listened to her and I was like, yeah, this is cool, and I kept on moving. A week later, I heard a call that changed my life, and I lost my dad. And at that time I could remember bits and pieces of that day, and because I was shattered, I was broken into different parts of myself. But I could remember the first 3 words that could come out of my mind, which is one thing I would always hold on to wherever I go, is call Mrs. Hopman. That was the first thing that I thought of. And I needed her so bad, and I've never thought I would need someone so bad in my life to be there for me at a time. And I was so certain that she was gonna be there, because that's what she was called to do. Like, I've never known someone that knows what they're supposed to do and do it so well as she can. And I know at that time, deep down, beneath my whole my consciousness and all that was going, that she was the one person that I needed, because she knew what to do and what to say and how to help me more than anything else. And I was glad. And the moment I went into the dorm, a few minutes later, she was there. And I just looked at her and I saw a little flash of hope in me, because I knew I had hope, and I knew I had someone that would help me through this difficult time.
As the Hopman family moves on to a new chapter in their lives, Mr. and Mrs. Hopman share about what they will miss the most and how they would like to be remembered at Montverde Academy.
Well, I love Montverde Academy, and it has grown so much over the past few years. It is a beautiful place, but I will definitely miss the people the most. I will miss the administration, I will miss the teachers, I will miss the faculty, I will miss the staff, and I will miss the students. It's the people whose lives have touched mine that I will miss the most.
I'm gonna obviously miss the people the most. You know, the Montverde Academy family. You know, each year is painful when we say goodbye to our seniors and they leave. But I'm always comforted in knowing that the seniors tend to come back and we get to see them. But now that I'm leaving, it's completely different, because I won't be able to see everyone nearly as much as I do, obviously being here. So I'll miss that the most, the people, the people that have become my family. I think that hopefully I'll be remembered as someone that's hardworking, someone who's a family person, someone who you can call on and trust. I hope that just the little things that I've done will leave some fingerprints around campus that maybe I can return back someday and point out to my grandchildren maybe that I had something to do with something on this campus. So, and of course the impact that I have on the lives of our students, whether they're in the classroom or on the athletic field. I hope that has a positive impact.
I hope that my legacy here at Montverde Academy will be one that when people remember Mindy Hopman, they remember that she loved God with all of her heart, mind, soul, and strength. And everything that she did reflected that.
Certainly, The Hotman family has had the privilege and blessing of touching many lives along the way at Montverde Academy, and look forward to what God has in store for them in the future.
So if there was anything, I would save to last, it is to tell you, John and Mindy and Hunter and Haley, that I love you very much. I thank you for what you've brought to Montverde, for your commitment to us, for your commitment to me, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you to every member of the Hotman family. Your service to the Academy and your warm and endearing presence will surely be missed.
This year is coming to a rapid ending, and as you most may know by now, we have an honors program tomorrow to reward MVA's hardest workers. So we went out to interview the new Dean of Students, Mr. Urquhart, to get some more information about this year's program.
Well, tomorrow night we have our academic awards program that'll start at 7 o'clock, and students are selected from each class by their teachers. Often teachers have the very difficult job of deciding who in that class deserves the highest academic honor. A lot of it, of course, has to do with grades, but where the grades are very, very close or even sometimes down to a tie, it comes down to a call on who has been the most academically engaged in that class for the year, and those are often very difficult choices.
Thanks, Mr. Urquhart, and see you all tomorrow night at 7.
Now let's go to Dino on the street to see what people's favorite memories from this year at Montverde have been. Roll it.
What is your favorite memory of this whole school year?
Well, my favorite memory was being able to do the Millie production with my friends Mariah and Justin and all the seniors in the production. It was really fun to have one last chance to be on stage with all of them.
Is Nicholas your not friend?
Is Nicholas my friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't include him.
But he's not a senior.
Oh, okay. And you?
I'd say my favorite memory was doing the play, but my worst memory was doing it with Kevin.
Okay, thank you guys.
The first day when I came to Montverde, I called my roommate, and I got really surprised that she was there waiting for me.
Okay, thank you.
I would say there's so many good memories, but one of the best was when the boys basketball team won the national championship. I was really excited for them.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Thank you.
There are so many great memories from this year, but I think that my absolute favorite was watching Jake perform as Shrek and hearing him sing and seeing him act and wearing that big old suit just made me really, really proud. And it was a great production and all the kids did really, really well. So that was my best memory.
I like that show too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What was your favorite moment on this school year?
My favorite moment, I think, is on the Lunar Festival when my band is singing. In that moment on the stage, it's my best memory.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Those aren't bad. Jabari, what was your favorite memory from this year? Mine was probably when we won Mate. I lost my voice for about a week.
Yeah, I'd have to say when we won Mast, it was pretty intense. Now let's go to sports with Kevin Camp.
I have a great memory of this year too. He was when we won the national tournament in the Madison Square Garden for the second year in a row. Yeah. As we all know, we had a sports award banquet which recognized all players from this year's sports team. This was a tremendous year for MVA, and we congratulate everyone who received an award. We also know that the girls softball team had a great spring season, making it to the regional semifinal. But unfortunately, that night they fell short. Great work, girls. In addition, we have to give shout out to track team members, Jessie Ware, Taj Malone, and Shell Hopkins. Jessie came second in the 800 meter by 2/100 of a second. Taj placed 7th overall in the high jump, and Shell placed 13 in the 3200. Great job. As we all know, summer in the near future means football in the fall. With that in mind, let's shoot to Coach Trewick to talk about next year's football squad and what we have to look forward to.
All right, Coach Trewick. How's your spring season going, and what do you have planned for the upcoming fall season?
So spring's going great. Obviously, you know, same as every school in the state of Florida, when you get to spring season, you lose your
seniors, and they were pretty much the foundation of our team. And so we lose 6 or 7 seniors, and that always hurts going into the spring because your numbers are down, and you're trying to fill holes for positions where, you know, you had them in the fall. So we're looking to do that, but we look pretty good right now. We've got a game on May 22nd, and we'll be playing against the First Academy of Orlando. And they're a talented football team. We look forward to playing them and hopefully get some solid support from the MVA fans. Hope to see you guys out there on the 22nd. For next year, hopefully we've got a few guys coming in, going through the application process right now, and hopefully they'll be here and ready to go in the fall. We've got a tough schedule, tougher than we had this year, but that's what we're trying to do, trying to build this program. And, you know, we started from scratch, and now, you know, it's kind of building blocks as we take year by year. And so our schedule's getting tougher, but we're getting more talented, and we'll see where that takes us through the fall of next year.
Thank you, Coach. That's all for sports. I'm Kevin Cam. Back to Bari.
Well, that about wraps things up for this week's episode of MVA Today. From myself and the rest of the students in the TVA Studio Broadcasting course in the Stevens Media Arts Building, I'm Jabari Noon.
And I'm Hannah Fito. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Eagles!